Welcome! Ta-da! How was your holiday? Do. Yeah, I mean, how was it? Awesome, huh? Well, here we're cold. Here in Southern California, we are cold. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. Yes, indeed. Woohoo! Happy. We thundered and lightninged here. Right now, as I look out, we've got sun breaking through a little bit, but they warn us this is not going to last. In Southern California, when we have something that hits us this hard, we have puddles everywhere. So needless to say, we've had a few car accidents on freeways and giant puddles in the middle of the freeway that have caused quite some troublesome problems on our freeways as people commute to wherever they're going today. I don't know if they're going to work or if they're shopping or what you're doing. I'm staying home. But the joy of it is that the rain is here and it's absolutely amazing. Thunder and lightning, not just like a little bit of thunder and a little bit of lightning, like a whole hour of thunder and lightning, and I was just beside myself. So no, I'm not answering anybody. I wanted to I wrote notes for updates. I wanted to first celebrate Christmas brought a lot of gifts to a lot of people. Bob Baker marionettes. I knew Bob Baker very, very well. And here in Southern California, he has a marionette theater. Bob passed away a few years ago, but he was a real good friend of mine and a co-puppeteer. We did marionettes together for fun. I never worked at his place, but it was about to be a thing of the past when they did a fundraiser and they earned that money, and yay, they've got 2021 doing well. And now what they're doing, and just go to GoFundMe and look up Bob Baker Marionettes. Now what they're doing is they are funding the shows for the year. So if you want to donate and celebrate a classic, wonderful puppet theater, then I highly encourage you to go and support Bob Baker's Marionettes. I mentioned the puddles on the freeway and the lightning, which was unbelievable. But I felt like it was not the puddles, but the lightning and the thunder was for Terri. Okay, so midnight last night, the sky just ripped apart and opened up with flashes. In fact, the first I was watching Disney Plus. I got Disney Plus for Christmas. And I was watching Disney Plus. I was actually watching a series of shorts. I love short films. And I was also watching the one where they go searching for props for movies like Mary Poppins and Nightmare Before Christmas. That's also really cool. So if you're contemplating why should you join Disney Plus, I'm finding that there's a lot there. And then, of course, there's Dinosaurs in January. The show where I did with a team Baby Sinclair. So you can see my work. I was there for all but a year, and we went for 5 years. So you get to see both seasons on Disney Plus. So I highly recommend. Not only do you get to see shows I've done, Country Bears, and the Country Bears I did, and also Dinosaurs, the TV show, Not the Mama. You get to see that in January. But there's other things that I was not involved in, but I love to learn about. And that is on Disney Plus. So I was watching that and I kept seeing a flash outside my window. We had retired and were curled up having like dessert. And my cousin makes sweet potato pie. So we were having some pie and kind of just snuggling in, a little glass of wine, the yummy stuff, celebrating the holiday with rest, because I do not rest. I should, I just don't rest enough. And that's because I feel like time is the one thing. Well, it's true, but time is the one thing that you can't get back. So I feel like it should be full. But what I need to learn and continually have to tell myself is that rest is equally important. You can't burn the candles on both ends. Maybe I did when I was younger, but I'm now 63 and I have to realize I need to, calm down, relax, and take some time for myself. So Christmas Day and the 2 days after Christmas, I just kind of made some wonderful, yummy things for my family. I did breakfast, I did lunch, I made Christmas dinner. And my family consists of me, my husband, and my little dog. And we did Christmas dinner. We curled up. We watched it. We also watched some YouTube. And the reason we did that is because we did a tiny bit of prepping, kind of mental prepping. But we kind of did some mental prepping for the new year because there's some things I want to give you here on YouTube. I want to optimize my YouTube channel. This is the year to get that YouTube channel into gear so that you guys have some good, wonderful content to look at. The challenge I had was that I didn't know how a few years back. I didn't know how to upload to YouTube. Now, those of you who really are the rock stars of YouTube, or those of you who are, grew up with social media, are probably having a good laugh right now. And go ahead, laugh out loud, because it's true. I really didn't know. I could not understand how to upload to YouTube. And people tried to teach me, and at 63 it was challenging for them as well as for me. But my husband said something quite profound, as he usually does, and that was, there's no reason you can't create content and put it aside so that when you do figure out how to upload to YouTube, we can start to give you guys content. So that's going to be 2021. The one thing my husband didn't tell me, and I have said before, I have a brain of a 5-year-old, is, yeah, he forgot to tell me I should probably keep it all in one place so that I can find it later. Yeah, so it's everywhere, and I have a lot of content. So my husband, bless his heart, has agreed to help me organize this massive amount of content. I mean, I've got hard drives all over, and I have them all full, and you're supposed to save it in 2 places so that if one drive dies, the other, blah, blah, blah. And I did all of that, but I did not create a system to find what I want. So if I wanted to find my Japan trip, in which I sold my Star Wars collection in order to take my husband to a month touring of Japan, which I know you guys would love to see, I can't find it. Because I don't, it's like, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? So this year we are working on organizing all of that so that we can bring content to you of me building as a young girl, some of the costumes that I did when I was a kid, bringing some kid shots of me when I was a kid and some of the things I built as a child, my Easter eggs that I decorated, things like that, just there's photos. There's when I worked with various people on various shows that you may not, that aren't as big as many of the shows I discuss. These are things that I want to share with you and what my life is like at home, as well as bringing you into my studio like I do every Monday and Friday when I can, to show you some of the things that I'm doing. And I have, for example, this is usually a long-winded Facebook Live on Monday, and then it's even longer during the AMAs on Friday. And I want to make it so that if you have, don't really, maybe you have a shorter attention span, you don't want to be living on the channel listening to me talk for hours or whatever, that this is a way that you can see it. So we're working on small bites and things like that. And I'm going to study more about YouTube and about how to optimize my content to make it better for you, and also on Patreon. So as I've mentioned before, I do have a Patreon page, and I want to make my Patreon page. Here's where you go if you want to be a part of Terri's tribe. On my Patreon page, I do a lot of things, and we do a lot of things. You may start a page like this, and it's a membership page. You pay so much a month to be a part of it, but it's $5 a month, and you get a lot of content. Or you can, donate more, invest more. There is no donation. I give you a lot of content for stuff, so it's well worth it. You can pay more to get more, but the $5 a month gives you 2 of these private lives. And then it also gives a Zoom call that I do every Wednesday, and we actually can talk live with each other. Okay. So, and then when the pandemic goes away, we'll actually meet in person if we can. Okay. As a group. So that's what Patreon does. But I started to say, you may design a Patreon page with an idea in mind, but the beauty of it is, as people come together, it metamorphosizes into something amazing. It evolves and becomes fantastic the more people join. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, forgive me if I have. It's not just artists coming into that venue. It's people who would like to be artists, and it's people who would like to make a living doing what they love. Maybe they're in a job or a situation where they would like to branch out and start to do something more creative, whatever that is in their mind. Or maybe they're just feeling melancholy and they want to join us because we're all upbeat, energetic, supportive people in the tribe. And we're growing and sharing every year. Besides that, I do a treasure chest where I give away things that are magical. And here's what I thought here, guys. I thought that I could do eBay. And some of the things I do eBay. So not everything goes on my Patreon page to my patrons, but a lot does. And I do what's called the treasure chest. And I will take an object that's cool and I will pull a number. Everybody in the tribe has a number, like 1 or 2 or 33 or 66, whatever number they've chosen. And we do like a little game show at the end of each month, and I pull the numbers out, and those numbers get those items. And it can be anywhere from collectible pins to lanyards to trying to think of an example that I could show you so that you could kind of see. So this handbag right here could be something that I give away to the patrons as a thank you for being a part of the tribe. And I do about 5 or 6 things. The challenge I have with this is when this was given to me, they forgot to take off this tag. And as soon as I can get into a store and get this tag off, then I can give this away. But there's also a really cool shoe in here that I might give away. This is a Nightmare Before Christmas shoe. If your foot fits it, stuff like that. And then pins. If you're across the pond, you live in Australia, you live in London, you live in someplace like that. I try to keep the gifts in the pin size because it's expensive to send it. But I won't go into all of those super details, but just understand that that is part of the tribe as well. And then every Christmas, I create a digital gift. And the digital gift is, and we'll just take this off here. Boop. There it goes. Bye-bye. Today, this year's digital gift went to everybody in Terri's tribe, and I do these drawings that people can, they get to keep them. They get to have them. So here, this is Dragon Babies, and this celebrates motherhood. So I wanted to celebrate. Now, some of you may notice, if you know I'm also a cachet artist, these were representative of my cachets. And I kind of decided what would the babies of my cachet dragons look like. Cachet being an envelope with stamps on it, but there you go. And then the babies. This is my Dragon's Lair Paris dragon. Many people say she's a she, so I did a little dragon baby leaning in like that too. And if you're an artist, you can do the rest of the body. But right now on my Patreon page, I am sharing with you what you can do with these. Something other than, maybe you want to do something other than color. Now, there's nothing wrong with coloring, and today I showed some colored pencils I love called Prismacolor. You can layer them and really create some amazing drawing techniques with them. And the idea is coming up on YouTube, I will probably I'm learning. So I don't want to make any promises right now about another YouTube channel or a playlist. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I will announce it when I figure it out. I got to figure it out first. And so that's kind of what we did on one day, as we kind of kicked back, had some sweet potato pie, thanks to my cousin Tim, and we chatted about how we might improve what we're going to do in the new year. But we did very little of that because I have a challenge with resting. So a lot of people will say, this is the year to hit the ground running, work hard, get it done. In fact, I'm doing a YouTube training course, and that's what he's saying. He's like, don't sit on your hands. I'm not sitting on my hands, but I have Hitchhiking Ghosts coming out in January and February. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to push that back. My team got COVID-19, and not me, but the ones that are putting these ghosts together and doing the final touches on them after I sculpted them. And they got very, very sick. And they wanted to try and still get them done in December. But with this pandemic, guys, anything is possible. And we are the epicenter here in California. We are the epicenter of the pandemic. We are the #1 state with the most ill, sick, not doing very well, zero capacity in the hospitals. We're a mess here in California, and it's very scary. But the good news is there's light at the end of the tunnel if we will do our due diligence and social distance and wear a mask, right? But it's getting to the point where some people are, I don't want to wear a mask anymore. I'm done. I don't want to think of my keys and my this and my that. And I don't want to social distance. But COVID is still out there, and COVID is waiting for you to not do what you're being asked. So please, we are so close to getting, we will be able to get the upper hand on this. It's going to take about 10 months, okay? January to October. But we could save Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, et cetera, if we just hang in there. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I'm sure you heard this before. So again, and why do we keep saying this on social media? Why do we all sit on social media and inundate you with the same message? Because we love you, because I love you. And I want you to understand, please don't get up in your stuff and say no mask and no social distancing. Please be careful. We are the worst we have ever been since the pandemic was announced to us back in January and February. And I just don't want to hear that, I've lost someone when you maybe could have prevented giving it to someone else. Okay. All right. That's done. Okay. My leadership is done. You see, that's one of the things about doing a live broadcast on any channel, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. When you step up and you do that, maybe you don't think so if you're doing a silly dance on TikTok and you're just entertaining, but you too are leading in a certain way. You are entertaining and helping people feel better by your silly dances or your silly things that you're doing on TikTok, or your creative things that you're doing on TikTok, or whatever you're doing. I don't look at TikTok a lot, but the point is, whatever you're doing puts you in a leadership position, especially since people tend to listen to social media more than they do other news sources. So let's do our due diligence and lead. We won't be able to make everybody love us, okay? Some of you may be listening and going, oh gosh, she's talking about that mask thing again. You have the right to go, so feel free to go at me, okay? But I have to do what I have to do that I feel is right as a leader, okay? Because I have made the decision to get on here every Monday and every Friday and speak with you for a long time. So I can't just make it all fluff. I have to come in and say things if I care about you, if I really care about you. Okay. And you can decide yourself whether I'm being straightforward or not. But I'm telling you right now, I am. Okay, I am staying home, and then when I go out, because I realize that this pandemic is really nutsy right now here in California, that I have to be careful where I go because I have family members, my husband, who is high risk. And I don't know how you feel about it, but if I came home and gave him COVID-19 because I'm not being on my game every single minute of every single hour of every single day, which is annoying, I'm acknowledging that. Still, right? Still, if anything happened to him because of me being frivolous, I couldn't live with myself. Okay? I just could not. I'm going to be straight. The terror I feel of giving it to someone that I love is so strong. The mask is nothing to me. It's nothing. It's a fashion point. It's a statement you can say. I saw a glitch here on the broadcast. I want to just warn you that this could stop at any time because right now the sun has gone away and we're raining again. If thunder and lightning happens, I could go and disappear. So yeah. So you saw the drawings that I did. These drawings, if you're on Patreon, every year I do a new digital set of drawings. Last Christmas, I did sketches of the child. But what I'm doing now is showing people what they can do with those drawings when they get them. Because you don't have to just color them. You can create other things. And that's what I'm showing the patrons how to do. So I encourage you, really, really encourage you to go and check it out. If you don't like it, I'm going to be really sad if you leave, but that's your prerogative. This is something I think you would really enjoy. And it's not just me. There are so many amazing people in Terri's tribe, and they are so generous. They're so talented. We do a thing called the Spotlight, which we ask each member of the tribe to go on Zoom with us and take time to tell us about who you are. Okay. And that has been my favorite show, kind of tell me your life show. This is the tell me about you show. And I love it. Now, some people are very shy and some are very embarrassed. They say, I don't know if I have anything to say. But what I do is get on with you off the air. And I talk to you and I say, ooh, that's a great thing. This is a great thing. So last week we had Jim Van Ostenbridge, sorry, Jim. And he, in the beginning, just didn't really speak up because he didn't think he had anything to do. And then we see the spectacular Christmas light show that he did for his sister and find out he's been doing it for years. So I said, let's start with that. Talk to us about how do you create a fully automated Christmas show? I mean, you don't just get the Christmas show kit, open it up, and it happens. Okay? If you have someone do your Christmas lights for you, this can be pretty pricey. But if you do it yourself, Jim was sharing that, and it was just delightful. So I encourage you to consider coming and joining us, okay? Okay? I want your voice in there. You're going to feel great, especially in the pandemic. How much can you binge watch, right? Come and join and add your expertise, your voice to the orchestra and the music that is created by Terri's tribe. It's been a joy for me, and I just love everyone there, and I encourage you to be a part of it. Okay, I'm done. All right, so what did I want to tell you guys today? I'm looking in my phone, not because I'm trying to answer a message, but because I put in here a list of things this morning that I wanted to talk to you about. Yes, I did want to talk about Disney Plus. Disney Plus. So my husband gave it to me for Christmas, and Disney Plus is something that I don't think he thought is going to maintain itself, sustain itself. That's the word, not maintain itself, sustain itself for me. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. So I think having a membership with Disney Plus is a good idea, because I can take an hour at my lunch and watch a show or something, or I can sit back and watch Soul, which is what we did Christmas Day. I was so eager to see Soul. I had been inundated with people saying how great this movie was, mainly the two actors, Tina Fey, who does the little voice, and Will Smith, right? Doing the main character. In any case, they kept saying how great it was, how fun it was to do it, how poignant it was, that it had a message, that it was cool, etc., etc., etc. And I just thought, hey, how awesome is this to experience it? And my husband loved it. Okay. We're in the film industry, so it's a little bit scary when we watch a movie, because we cannot watch it and just enjoy it. Things jump out at us, because I've done effects, I've done costumes and cosplay, I've done puppets, I've done voices. I do voices still. I act in them. So if I see something that doesn't feel right, it's usually story, I have a problem with it. Mulan. Okay. So I watched Mulan's live action, and I just thought it was not good. The girl is beautiful. The costumes are spectacular. And the scenes where they're filming are wonderful. But the story, I just wish, hello, Disney, it's Terri Hardin here, Imagineer, just saying, can you stop with the live action? Unless you're going to take a little more time to better understand it. Okay? Because, oh, no. No. Oh, I did these comparisons with Mulan. Animated Mulan, she's kind of a screw up. In animated Mulan, she's not doing things right. She kind of dreams. She's a sweet girl. She doesn't fit in the culture that she is born in. And now she's got to find a husband. She doesn't seem to like to wear dresses very much, but she's going to do it because she loves her family and she doesn't want to shame her family. She's going to do the best she can. And we all know in the animated Mulan, she screws it up. And the family is like, oh, that little oddball, that little odd duck. Well, I'm an odd duck, aren't you? Many of you are odd ducks. So we identify with animated Mulan because we're like her. Cut to the live action version, and Mulan is a superhero. She flies across roofs, and she kicks things, and she's just this huge Marvel superhero that you think should be with the Avengers and not in a Disney film. My opinion. Please, guys, my opinion. All right. My channel, my opinion. If you don't like it, I still love you. But this was upsetting to me. She comes out a superhero. Where has she got to go? Where is her arc? Where is her realization? Where is her teaching? Where is her learning? You go to animated Mulan, and now her father is injured. She's got to be the one to go to battle. And she's got to hide her identity because she's going into battle. And this is terrifying. We are terrified for her. She doesn't fight. She can barely lift the sword. You know, but she's got that drive. She's got that vision, and she loves her family. So doggone it, I'm terrified. I'm scared, but I'm the only one who can do this. And off she goes. And she's got some help. She's got Mushu and she's got Crikey, which honestly are not in the live action film, and I miss them. I just do. But okay. But the superhero in the live action goes, and we don't have the trauma. We don't have the fear. We don't have the scare. Yeah, she has to hide that she's a woman, but she soon reveals she's this superhero, and everybody, you know. And one of my favorite scenes in the animated Mulan is Mulan rides up to that extremely attractive and wonderful and super. In the animated version, Mulan must use her brain because she's not a very strong physical character in the animated one. In the live action, she's a superhero, so why think at all? Honestly, there's a couple of thoughts, but really, who cares? You also have a villain that's completely worthless, and there's two of them, which always drive me crazy, and one of them is very powerful, and you wonder why she's even with the other guy. I don't want to spoil too much, and if I have, I apologize, but the problem is if we go back to animated Mulan, that guy is so scary, it isn't funny, and his bird is even worse in the animated Mulan, okay? Terrifying individual who doesn't seem to care who he kills or who he hurts, right? So she's got to climb this pole with these weights, and she doesn't know how to do it. Well, she soon learned if she uses her brain, she can use her brain and take her little body that's not as strong and still create magic. When she gets to a certain scene, she is using her mathematical brain to do it, not her brawn. Okay? Other movie, let me just say, doesn't happen. There are certain things that happen, but it's not about the brain, really. Finally, the scene I was talking about that is incredibly important, which is when they discover she's a girl, they banish her, of course, and say, hey, away you go, get lost, you've done a terrible thing, you've dishonored your family, you know, everything is not awesome. And finally, she rides up to him in the palace and says, Ping, you listen to Ping. Why is it any different from Mulan, a woman? And they look at her like this. They don't say anything in the animated. They just kind of go, eh. Well, they try to recreate this scene in the live action, and it just doesn't play. It is such baloney. It is. Remember, the men don't believe women even exist. So now you're going to try and do this with live action. Just stop, okay? Just stop. So there's my Mulan rant. It's beautiful for scenery. It's beautiful for the costumes. Oh, they're just absolutely gorgeous. The girl is lovely. And it's wonderful to watch her in action, as is the commander. He is one of the best martial artists. I've seen him in several movies, and it's wonderful to watch him. But when it comes to story, thanks for playing. Just turn the sound off and enjoy it the best you can. Okay? But I gave it. I think the only thing that would have made me angrier about Mulan is paying $30 to see it early, which I did not do. Yay! But if you jump over to Soul, as much as I was in pain watching Mulan, I had great joy watching Soul. My husband said Pixar is back because there's a few Pixar films he watched that he did not think Pixar was doing a very good job. And this one, he thinks they hit it on all notes. And I agree. I absolutely love Soul. I plan on watching it a couple more times because it is lovely. It is just lovely. And Disney Plus has a lot of things that are worth watching there. Okay. Plus in January, the show I did, Dinosaurs, for 4 years plus, is going to be on Disney Plus. So another reason that my husband gave it to me so that I can revisit the show that the hit show that I did for years as Baby Sinclair's Arms. So I'm excited about that. Country Bears is on there. That's a film I did. And if you were told it was awful, it's borderline too, because they decided to follow the people more than the bears, but it's still fun. The bear bits are great. And if you're someone who's a fan of other fans and you know other Disney fans, if you slow down the last part of the Country Bears, there's a sequence in there where there are easily 50 to 100 fans that are in the movie because I sent an email out and invited them to be a part of it so that they could see the Disney Ranch. So when it starts, if you watch the Country Bears and you have questions about the Country Bears, we have an Ask Me Anything coming up. I can go into more detail. That Ask Me Anything is going to be on the 8th of January is going to be my first Ask Me Anything for you guys. So if that's something that you want to ask about, some of the details about the Country Bears, I can even show you some pictures, and I have some there's a prop culture on Disney Plus that I absolutely love, where the guy goes hunting for props from various shows that he likes. And I would really love to meet him. I'm going to see if I can find him and have a chat with him, because I have quite a few props from films and TV as well. It is customary a lot of times when you do a movie that they give you something like a jacket, like I'm wearing here. This is a Snow White animation jacket, animation team. And I'm very proud of it. I actually got it in a different way. It wasn't given to me. I found it at one of those amazing shows, Disney and a Fan show. And they gave me, because I wanted to have it. I love Snow White. And I love animation. I'm not the best at it, but I'm working on it. So yeah, so that is that prop culture is an amazing show. The Imagineering show is pretty good, and I like that as well. But I'm really fallen in love with Marvel. Did a show called 616 that breaks down what it takes to do a comic book, and I love that. I've never been interested in comic books, but I love learning about something that I don't know. And in Terri's Tribe, we have this amazing comic book artist. He tells magnificent story. He does beautiful illustrations. He colors amazing. He just will pop your head off. He's so great. And Chris, his name is Chris, and Chris has taught me the facets of comic book production, because I didn't really understand how you go from your idea, I want to do a comic book about Ninja Turtles, for example. In your head, you decide, I want to create the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And you say to yourself, I want to create the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What do you do next? I had no idea. So this 616 that you can see, it's a Marvel-based series. Check it out. It's great. It just starts to show you how many people collaborate to create a decent comic book. It can be stuff from the past, and it can be stuff from now. And it's just, the storytelling was one of my favorite ones, because I have challenges when I'm telling my own stories based on my own life. And it was interesting to see, it's always nice to know that there's someone else in the I have a block here, pool. Why can't I write this stuff? It's kind of nice to know someone else is swimming in the pool with you, especially when they are considered to be top of their game. And it's a great series, so I highly recommend it. So how was your Christmas? Let's take a moment and pop over and see what you guys have to say. I always do this at various times when I'm chatting. I don't know how long I'll go today, because it is the holidays. But you know that you could always go and come back, and I won't be offended. So there you go. So let's see who all is here. Nate, thanks for popping in and saying hello. Nate Singleton did a spotlight, and he talked to us about how to properly, or an idea on how to display your massive Disney collection. If you have a massive Disney collection, how to display it. And that's fabulous. Janny! Now, Janny is also a part, as Nate is, a part of Terri's Tribe. And you can see by this little circle that she has, this is Summer for Art. And she is one of the people who's got me so excited about painting, so much so that, Janny, you're going to be surprised. My husband got me a big set, a huge set of these interactive Atelier paints. I love them. I took a class with them, and I've dreamed of having every color in the universe. And there they are, every color. Well, this is not every color. If I showed you every color, we'd have to pull up. But these are just examples. They're interactive acrylic, which means they come to life even on the canvas after the canvas is dry. So I'm so excited to have them, and it was so sweet of him to get them for me. And I can't even breathe, because there's binders and things. And Janny is one of the people that gives me advice, because she's an amazing painter. I mean, take a look at this flower. She paints like crazy. The other thing about people, other artists, when you come together with other people of like minds, upbeat Disney people, people who are go-getters, people who is, if you're someone who needs to have that fire lit under you, they do it. They do it simply by doing what they do. And you're going, my gosh, Janny, I know she's got kids and her husband, and she's got all kinds of stuff going on in her life like me, and she manages to paint every day. And so when I slip on my sculpting and go, well, I haven't sculpted in so many years, I kind of look to her and go, she's my motivator. We motivate each other, and it's just wonderful. Hello, Ava. Good to see you. How was your holiday? Foot of snow on Christmas Day. Oh, see, here we have snow on our, what we call our ridge. And in Big Bear, they're talking about the snow is amazing. And if you go up there to ski, wear chains. The thing they should be saying is also, remember, we're going to attend to social distance. But if you got to go up there and ski, you got to go up there and ski, don't you? And to see the snow. Hi, Bonnie. Good morning. And Michael Roman. Sorry that the end of the year has kept me away. So Nate has been busy, and we've missed him. We've missed his input. We've missed his thought process. He is a collector, so every so often he shows us what he's acquired, and it's been beautiful and exciting. So honestly, we miss you when you're in the tribe. Bob Burdine. Yes, safe and healthy New Year is pretty easy because we're not really going out. And so, like I said, I am distracted though, because I have this thing that I got involved with before the holidays, which was going through what I had and giving things to charities that could need them. So I had like these really super, it's nice to give to a charity, right? Like, let's say Battered Women, which I just gave quite a bit to. I gave really exotic, fluffy, warm, yummy things, so that perhaps the people who are going through them during Battered Women could put them aside for Christmas gifts, because they weren't just my discards. You know what I mean? Some of the things were discards, I'm not going to lie, but I am pretty OCD about taking care of stuff, and I don't really give you something that's super beat up unless I think you can utilize it. Like, I have a bag that I donated, a roller bag that has traveled all over the world with me, had my running stickers on it, had places I had been, and the charity wanted it. Even though it's a zebra color, it's beat up, they still wanted it, even though the zipper pulls were busted. But it's years of my travel, Paris, London. And so, some people got excited because it came from my collection, and I'm really touched by that. I start to do what I need to do in my life to get done for the new year. Like the Hitchhiking Ghost, for example, I have to focus on those as well. But there's also this pull to continue to donate, because once you see a person cuddle and smile at something that you're responsible for having given them, you can't stop. Maybe you can, I don't know, but you can't stop. So I'm glad you like the gift, Bob. And that would be the dragons. Janny says, we love it when it thunders and lightnings. One of our favorite things. We have lots here in Edmonton, especially in the summer. And okay, just see, she's bragging again. We used to have a lot of thunder and lightning here in California, but we haven't. I mean, it shocked everybody that we had this much lightning, this much thunder, and a teeny bit of rain to start. It just drizzled. It didn't have a boom. Then it opened up. The sky just like, buckets. Another thing that doesn't often happen in California. And when it does, puddles everywhere. Because it's kind of like, it's the summertime and you go, I'll get to it. Do you know what I mean? I'll clean those rain gutters. We don't rain much. We'll get to it. And then all of a sudden, puddles everywhere. And people are like, we should have got to it. You know what I mean? So I was warned by the news. I'm like I said, I'm donating stuff. And I had a tarp that I laid out everything that I was going to donate. And then I covered the tarp in half, making a taco. And the taco inside, the filling was all of the things I was going to donate to charity. And when charities came to pick it up, I just opened up the taco and they took what they wanted. And they took everything. One of the greatest achievements was that I found a library that actually needs books. And I have books that are really pristine. I'm one of these people that doesn't break the backs, that's really about preserving the books, whether they're collectible or not. I just can't be mean to a book. So I pulled out some books. Most of them are self-improvement books, okay? And, 12 Pillars of Success, Peaks and Valleys, Who Moved My Cheese, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, things like this, because I've committed them to a iPad or a Kindle. So the books are pristine and beautiful. There's a couple that I've written inside, but those are very rare, and usually they're meant to be written inside. So my point is, and then I did audio CDs, again, having committed them to MP3s, so that others can enjoy them that may not be able to afford them. Hundreds of dollars of self-improvement, of building, you listen to this stuff and it makes you feel good. And I found a place that can really use them. They really need them. And there's people out there that are lower income that can't pay the $30 or the $40 for these. And now they can pick it up. Know it's going to work because, just make it all. Yeah. So my point is I just get distracted. I just really love doing that because it feels really good for me and for them. And it's just great. It's just great. It's like, do you guys have a favorite? Okay. So left turn here. And thank you, Janny. And I wish I was there with you, listening to thunder and lightning and looking at snow. I know you hate snow, Janny, but I love snow. Hello, Terri. Happy holidays. The C's from the Theme Park Gals. Thank you for saying that. I almost posted it today, Theme Park Gals, and said, where did this come from? Because they put in everything inside the package, but who it was from. So thank you for stepping up. I love the C's. It's my favorite candy. And my husband says, please hide it because it's his favorite too. And he wants to sneak it out. It's a great box. And I want to thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I was really having a small meltdown in that I mean, seriously, it's like when you're watching a movie and they're about to give you the big resolve and then your TV starts to buffer. No, this is what happened. The paper was there, and at the bottom there was no name. So thank you to you guys. Thank you so much. I love C's candy, and it's been absolute joy to have that with a glass of red wine. I think now I can thank you guys properly every time I have a piece of candy. So thank you for that. Thor, yes. Indeed. Good morning. Glad the dinosaurs is coming to Disney. Me too. Me too, me too, me too. I'm very, very excited about it. I have it on DVD, but it's going to be great to see it with the Disney Plus logo next to it. And I just loved it. And I watched Christmas movies. So I was going to tell you about Our Vines Have Tender Grapes. I have a child star that when she is on television, I stop what I'm doing whenever I can and either listen or watch it. And that's the amazing, the stupendous, the tremendous Margaret O'Brien. Margaret, I got to meet her several years ago, and I told her how much I love her. There are so many movies that she just knocks it out of the park. She's just beautiful. She's wonderful. There, I could talk about the movies that I love with her in Till the Cows Come Home, but I won't right now. If you have an AMA and you want to know more about how I feel about Margaret O'Brien movies, Margaret O'Brien was a amazing actress in a tiny little body. So unlike a lot of child actresses or actors, Margaret had a real, I mean, there are child actors and actresses that are talented. But one of the things when you're acting is the challenge for you can be crying on cue. It's very important to be able to not only cry on cue, but cry naturally when you're an actor. And if you can do this, it's a plus. And Margaret O'Brien could cry on cue like that. No matter what her age was as a little girl, if you told her she needed to cry at this point in the script, she not only did it, but she did it with such professional ability. It was mind-blowing. She is absolutely just jaw-dropping in her talent. And one of my favorite movies that she's in is with Edward G. Robinson called Our Vines Have Tender Grapes. In this movie, she realizes at a point that the beauty of giving. And she's a little girl, so she doesn't have a lot of money. So she gives a thing. That's as far as I'm going to do. Our Vines have tender grapes. She also does another movie that's wonderful if you want to check it out, called 10th, Tenth Avenue Angel. It's about a little girl on roller skates who learns the joy of Christ. Okay. And it's not like that's the whole movie. It's a girl in life living, 10th Avenue, New York, and how she deals with what she deals with. Okay. And it's Margaret O'Brien at her best. Anyway, I got the chance to sit with Margaret at a lunch in Hollywood and tell her how much I love her, and said, and I'll continue to say, we need a box set of Margaret O'Brien movies, DVDs. They need to do a DVD box set that is strictly Margaret O'Brien, like you have Betty Davis, like you have Shirley Temple. And don't get me wrong, I like Shirley. Best Heidi is Shirley Temple Heidi. Best, I can't remember the name of the movie, but where the father goes to war and she's in a boarding school only to find out that they think, or they say, her father has passed and her life changes. Shirley Temple is amazing in both of those movies, but Margaret O'Brien is my go-to child, and I absolutely adore her. And we need a box set of her work. It is a crime that I don't have a box set of Margaret O'Brien movies. I have made my own collection, but I want a box set, and I would love the box set to be peppered with Margaret O'Brien talking about certain experiences that she had during those times. Like, for example, Margaret O'Brien shared, and she's shared on amazing channel, TCM, Turner Classic Movies. She has shared the fact that her Academy Award that she won was stolen. And it turned out that it was stolen by her maid, and it was later discovered. That is a fabulous story. And I would love to have a Margaret O'Brien collection of her movies, especially her obscure ones. Everyone is kind of on the Easter Parade. They know about that. Meet Me in St. Louis, or I guess it wasn't Easter Parade, but it's Meet Me in St. Louis, where she plays a cute little girl that buries her dolls along Judy Garland. And it's great. It's great. It's just not one of my favorite. There's one that Margaret O'Brien does that slips my mind right now. Welcome to Age 63, where she cuddles a bomb. She's an orphan of war, and she will not let go of her bomb, and like bomb, B-O-M-B. And you would just, I'm telling you, she has you at hello. If you have not seen a Margaret O'Brien movie, maybe you have, and you can put in the comments what one you like. But the reality of it is that girl is amazing. So there she was, my example, as usual. If you don't have a lot of change, a lot of capital, a lot of money, and during COVID, money is very important right now. You don't want to be cash poor during COVID-19 because you never know what's going to happen. But if you got stuff in great condition, somebody out there could use it. A nice warm coat, or a scarf, or gloves, or uh, one of your favorite shirts, or, a little coffee table, or some luggage, or books, or knickknacks, you know? Yeah. Plates, whatever, and whatever. Someone out there needs it. And if it's in lovely condition, you will get that great feeling of giving. And that's what helped me with the Christmas spirit. So if you don't have the money, you can give a thing. And that's what Margaret O'Brien asks. If I don't have money, can I give a thing? And she ends up giving a thing and becomes the example of the entire town. And she does this often because she's amazing. Okay, there she goes. Off on a tangent about Margaret O'Brien. But Margaret O'Brien's amazing. And then I get the chance to talk with her and to tell her. And it's important to tell people when you're crazy about them. Okay? Brings me to an amazing young lady named Kimberly Dominguez. She works at Walt Disney Pictures, and she's an amazingly beautiful, talented, remarkable woman. And meeting her was a joy in my life. Meeting this woman and actually being able to call her my friend is she's just amazing. But her superpower is she tends to make things happen. So my husband and I are super fans of a sound magical supercalifragilistic guy named Doc, D-O-C, Kane, K-A-N-E. Doc Kane, if you don't know who he is, you don't read the credits much. Try to read the credits. Go way back and read the credits. Doc Kane is he's worked on every movie, just every film. He's worked on everything. And my husband was a super fan. And Kimberly made it that we got to get together with him and meet him and talk with him and tell him how much we loved him and the work he does. He is just a joy, amazing. He should be a Disney legend. He really is a big deal. And that's what's cool. So if you have someone that you admire and you'd like to meet him, for me, the one I haven't met that I would really love to speak with, even if I have to pay for 15 minutes of his time, and I don't know what that would cost, is Clint Eastwood. So if you guys have a way to help me meet Clint Eastwood, I'd really like to meet him and tell him what he meant to my life, and a little movie called Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I have to be honest with you. I'm not kidding. I got to meet Lee Van Cleef, and I got to meet Eli Wallach of that film and tell them. So I am wanting to tell Clint Eastwood, because Clint Eastwood and the history of Clint Eastwood, all about Clint Eastwood. The man is a storyteller, and I love seeing movies by him. Not all are hits, but if it's got Clint Eastwood attached in any way, I'm going to go see it, at least go see it. And I love him, and I love the journey. I love his young, shy, quiet journey all the way up to, I think the last movie I saw was The Mule. And I just adore this man. I really am impressed with his body of work, how he makes a set. And hello, Steven. I should have, I hope you're not embarrassed by being up there for a while. Let's put Michael up there. We'll let Michael say, good morning, everyone. But yeah, my dream is to meet Clint Eastwood. I haven't met, and I've met lots of people. I got to tell lots of people. Okay, I watched, for example, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which is about a white girl who falls in love with a black man. And this girl right here, same situation. Black father falls in love with a white mother, and I am the daughter. So I saw this movie as a young girl and could not take my eyes off it. I was so excited. That was my mom and my dad right there. And it was such a joyful experience. Well, years later, in 2004, I'm in Venice, California, and I see Sidney Poitier. And I actually, the girl I'm with, because we're doing the breast cancer walk, Susan Gorman breast cancer walk. 2004, I don't know if it was called that, but Susan now does it. So let's give her a pitch, because it's a great walk. I walked from Malibu walked from Santa Barbara to Malibu over 3 days to support breast cancer, to that fight. It's an amazing experience. I highly recommend it. It's 60 miles, so you got to train for it. But it was amazing. And my partner, my buddy, Deborah, she looked up one day when we were training, and she just couldn't speak. She started to have what I thought were convulsions. They weren't. She was just choking or whatever. And I kept looking at her thinking she needed medical help. And she pointed as best she could, and there was Sidney Poitier standing there. So I took her over to meet him, and we talked to him for a good 20 minutes. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I got to actually tell him what a huge difference he made in my life with a film that maybe seemed simple. And I told him that the woman that played his mother was the one that really knocked me off my nut. Maybe not as a little girl, but later seeing it, that mother was phenomenal. It's a great movie. You should see it. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, Sidney Poitier, and some amazing other people. Just great. But story is what I live for, which is why I watch a lot of animation, because a lot of animation seems to get story right. If you get too wrapped up in the telling of the story, and you can, a lot of times, and then I'll leave Mulan alone, if they start with a narrative, once upon a time there was and it's a voiceover, it means they didn't know how to tell the story visually, and you're in trouble. You're usually in trouble. So just saying. Angie, well, hello. I wondered if you were with us today. Please have an excellent day. Yes, Michael, you too. And we need to get together safely, of course. Thank you for my jacket. Yes, this is a very special jacket, and it came from some lovely people. And I got it for a song. Oh, and it was very sweet of them to add it to my collection. I'm really happy to be able to wear it today because it's cold, and it's actually cold enough for this jacket. So I'm really happy I have it. Pardon me. That's the tea. Thank you, Bob. The treasure chest is a lot of fun, and it's a way that I can thank people. It's not a bribe. It's a thank you, because I think you need to be thanked for your, not only for the $5 a month that you are part of the membership. I look at that $5 as a trade. I'm giving you my experiences and sharing with you and visiting with you and giving you my time for exchange for $5 a month. So it isn't much, okay? But what the bonus is on this Patreon page, if I may, and I will, is you guys. You guys have just exploded, those of you who are a part of the tribe, in your generosity. The thank you is for what you give each other on that channel so much. I go in and I see what you've posted, and I just am in awe of every single one of you. I just love it. I love how somebody has a question, or somebody's having a meltdown, or somebody's having a challenge. For example, we have a very dear friend who's going through some health problems, and everybody sent him prayers and good wishes and I love you, and told him jokes, and just did things to take his mind off of stuff. It's just a great group. And the treasure chest is a way of saying thank you for taking the time to make each and every one in the tribe feel good. So Jamie Fox, thank you, Dan. It's not that they all look alike, Dan. My father would say we all look alike, which is not true. Jamie Fox is someone that I've only worked with minimally. And I've worked with, so I always get them mixed up. And it's because they're both joyful, upbeat guys. So I did a puppet of Jamie Foxx. So I did a little marionette of him for a show before he was big. So, but it's a great, thank you. And thank you for correcting me, Dan, because like I said, 63 brain, all the watercolors flow together. But my dad would get on me for that because he would say we all look alike. So not Will Smith, Jamie Foxx. Thank you, Stephen, because that is correct. Will Smith, I've done 3 or 4 movies with. And so I automatically default to him when I can't think of a name. So, Jamie, I apologize. It's not that you all look alike. However, my black father, is going to get on me if he sees this and says, don't do that. So shame on me. And thank you for correcting me, Stephen. And Dan, thank you. 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 And I'll never forget it again. Thank you. You guys are so cute. It was a disappointment. And Dan, you're a lot nicer than I was, aren't you? I just am tired. I'm so tired. I've got to be honest with you guys. I'm tired of these live action films falling short. I think the Kenneth Branagh Cinderella, where he directed, is the best one. I just think it's so good. And I watch it over and over and over. That Cinderella is wonderful. If you don't want to do your homework, watch that one and study what he did to make certain things change and why it's special and why you like watching not only the animated Cinderella, but the live action Cinderella, because these two work so well together. It just seems lazy to me. And then to see Mulan, and then my husband said China approved this movie. I can't believe that they did, because it goes nowhere. It does nothing. It has no growth, no rising above it's just, the animated Mulan, as you say, Dan, it not only made more sense, but it was great. And a lot of times I get tired of the side characters that are there for humor. Like in The Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa work kind of well, but then in others, you've got this character that has been put in just for laughs, and it's very frustrating. So, I mean, I love them, but they're frustrating because you can see the formula, and I don't like to see the formula. But you go back to Mulan animated, and you have Crikey, and you have the amazing Mushu. And although they're funny, they also play an integral part of the story. They help you to not get so deep into her challenges, because they're dealing with some very heavy issues in Mulan. And like you say, Dan, it's just amazing. It's just, the good news about the live actions, if there's any good news for making the live actions, you really should spend your money more efficiently and do more other stuff, because you guys are, you're Disney. You can create. Newsflash, you can create. Okay. So anyway, it's awesome. So Steve Barr asks, does the $10 a month option on your Patreon include the benefits? Yes, they do, Steve. So $5 is the base level. We create tiers in Patreon to help me stay focused and bring you content. And so the $5 a month and above all get what's below. So if you were at 25, you get not only the 25 a month special stuff, which quite frankly don't jump there yet, because I've got to improve what I'm doing at that level. But the $10 levels, they're pretty tight, and the $5 level's pretty tight. So at the $10 level, you get some behind the scenes stuff that I offer, and I'm going to do better, even better, get that really rolling. And then the $5, you get everything from below. So $5, you get the 2 private things. You get part of you're part of the thing. Everybody is a part of it. Nobody is left out. So anything $5 and above, yes. So Steve, good question, and thank you for asking. I would love to have you in there. I would. And it is a lot of fun, and would love to have you join, and love to have your voice heard. But yes, it is fun. I hadn't noticed the difference with Mulan. They did keep it hidden part of the story. I miss Mushu too. Both versions are hiding their abilities. She's hiding her abilities, but she starts out as a superhero in the live action, Kelly. So she has no growth. Okay. And you might be someone who that doesn't matter so much. And I'm not dissing that, but it matters to me because when I was a little girl, I was bullied. And I'm not saying you guys weren't, but I was bullied and I had to overcome obstacles to be where I am today. And I love the continual message that if you are struggling, that it's important to fight for what you love if you want to do it. It's not going to get, some people get it on a silver platter, and I don't know that they respect it as well. I don't know. I'm not that person. I had to fight, claw, all the way to get where I am, and I'm very grateful. It's the journey more than the destination. Have you heard that before? That's absolutely true, right? So it's the journey, not the destination, but the journey can be difficult. It can be tough. It can be, do I really want to keep going? And you have to answer that question to yourself, right? So let's take a entirely different movie, Kung Fu Panda. In the beginning, the Kung Fu Panda is dissed by everyone. In fact, they don't even want him. And he says at the end, he learns, he's not only the Kung Fu Panda in all of his innocence and his desire to be a Kung Fu master is he teaches as well as learns. People, they learn as bad and wonderful and cool as they are, they learn that it's not so easy. And here's a big fat panda who goes from a big fat panda to the big fat panda. And that journey is stunning. How to Train Your Dragon. The whole village believes dragons are evil beasts that should be killed, hurt, harmed. Until one young man, feels that one young man learns that they're not. He is in a situation. He's terrified at first, but he keeps going and he realizes that dragons are not what he's been told, that they turn out to be wonderful beings. And before you know it, this young man changes the world, changes his whole village. So I'm just saying, I love this arc. I love this arc. And I love seeing it over and over and over again. The phoenix rising above the ashes because of perseverance. I love it. It reinforces what I do every single day. Because you'll still get scared when you have a new thing. And it's nice to be reinforced through media. Film, in my case, I love films. Love to hear over and over. Love to watch it. Love to experience it. Love to see the journey. But I also get upset when somebody belittles that journey. And I think Mulan live action belittles that journey because there is no journey. In Mulan live action, there is no journey. She's already a superhero. She's already, her biggest thing is she's trying to overcome being a woman, and that's not going to happen. She's a woman. She's always a woman. She's going to be a woman. Why overcome being a woman? A woman is a great thing to be. Yeah. And it's like a postage stamp version, because all of a sudden the men all are on her side. It doesn't happen that way. Not during that era. Women were above dust. Okay. So the fact that just because she can wield a sword and everything is going to make them follow her, an entire army, you don't buy it because it's baloney. Okay. In the other one, she has a few that follow her because they realize how far she has come. And they take a minute to say, hey, we'll help you. But it's not the entire army, is it? It's 4 of the misfit guys that are kind of, they were friends with Ping and they got together with Ping, and they're the ones that started off. They're the ones that kick it off and save, and then the others join in, because of the men, because of the situation. Even when they finally meet the Emperor in the animated version, the Emperor has to say, "What's the matter with you?" A girl like that, you don't find every dynasty. Mulan is one of my favorite animated movies. I think it's got so much purpose and belief. And will Mulan run into other things later? Yeah. This is a victory for her, but there could be, if you were going to do a Mulan 2, she could run into some challenges again, because you can't change an entire universe overnight. You have to keep going. You have to keep proving it through kindness and example. Okay? You set the example, you show what you want to show, and you teach. And that's how it works. So thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Soul was beautiful. Soul had so much heart and soul. And what I loved about Soul is there is a woman in it, a famous jazz musician lady. And the animators nailed her. You know, if you've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. But I have relatives that I can put in that position on my dad's side. That look that she gives, that aloof look. She does an aloof look. You'll know, you'll do it. I can name several. My auntie used to do that often when I would, you know, spew some sort of story that I had. I'd tell some story and she would give me that kind of, it's great. If you know, so if you haven't seen it, keep an eye out for that look. It doesn't spoil anything. It just makes it part of my family. I saw my aunties there. So most live actions are disappointing. I agree, Dan. I agree. Most live actions are disappointing. And so do you continue, or do you take the time to make them good? You know, don't drop the ball. Don't just take a title and then do something. You know, and Disney's not completely at fault. They do it. Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves. Oh my Lord. You know, and one of the movies I just would not see that Disney did live action because I just couldn't was Dumbo. Because you can't unsee something. And when somebody does it really bad, you can't unsee it. I learned that with the first Maleficent. The best thing about the first live action Maleficent is that Angela Jolie looks beautiful as the Maleficent. She really is amazing looking as the Maleficent, but that's where it stops. Please stop. Please stop. Just don't. You want to talk about a movie that's not good for kids is that first Maleficent. Just so offensive. So yeah, you loved both Mulans. Well, good for you. And thank you for telling me. I'm glad you did. And I'm glad it entertained someone. Especially you two, who are cute as little bugs. I have liked the animated movies more, but wasn't sure how to explain why. Thanks for putting it into words. Kelly, if it helps, I love you. Okay, for saying that. Story is so important. We have struggles. I mean, 2020 has been a constant struggle. You know, I'm sure you felt like one day you feel like, yay, and the next day you don't want to get out of bed. What's that about? You say to yourself, what happened that I don't feel like moving out of bed? I feel really low today. What happened? And it's happening to all of us. We can't necessarily put a name on that lowness that we feel. It can be a million things, but my point is, because of the pandemic, we have these peaks and valleys like we've never had before, or we've had them, but magnitude, you know. And I will admit that is the biggest challenge, is that there are times I don't want to move, and I haven't had many of them, but I didn't want to get out of bed, and I feel guilty because I got stuff to do. Why am I sitting around, you know, doing nothing? Because I couldn't move. And it's important to indulge in that. When you can't move, just don't move. And then when you can move, move. Get through whatever that is. And move forward. And say in your mind, this too shall pass. And keep going. So that's why I love seeing movies like this that help me to realize you just keep on, you know, are you passionate about it? It doesn't mean, is it worth it for you? Then you're going to keep going. And if you go on like, like Tuesday, you want to rest. And then Wednesday you get up because you've acknowledged that feeling. You haven't ignored it. You've gone through it however you go through it. And then Wednesday you're up and running again. But if you try to keep suppressing it, and trying to deny that it's there. I'm not feeling depressed today. I never get depressed, blah, 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 which is me usually. But there have been some times this year that I've just gotten hit with the glums, as a guy in Doc Martin says, you got the glums. I got hit with the glums and I just couldn't believe it. And I'm like, I'm not a person to get hit with the glums, but I got hit with the glums and I had to go through my glum period, if you will, to get out to the other side and be my sparkly self again. You just got to write it out. No, it's not going to be there forever. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Just realize you're a human being. And if you try to do everything, I'm speaking for myself again. If you're trying to do a million things and you drop one and you go, oh, how did I drop that one? How did I forget that one? And sometimes it's a big deal where you're really super embarrassed and you go, oh my gosh, I'm losing my, just realize that you can pick it, admit what you did, apologize for what you did if it affected others. Or if it's something that you thought you were going to do and you dropped it on the ground and you don't know why you can't pick it up, just leave it there until you can pick it up. Okay. Consider it marbles in your hands. And if you drop one, because you have one too many, just let it sit on the floor until you have time to pick it up. Okay. This is a challenge for me because so I will tell you that I really want to do some of my own art. I do a lot of Disney art, as many of you know, but I want to do my own. And it's been riding my back like a monkey for a long time. And my hands will not move forward into this piece that I'm working on doing. And but I just breathe and I do what I do and know that soon I'll be able to do it. And today I actually started the armature for the sculpture that I'm going to do. That broke the ice for me. And now I'm very excited. Will I get past the armature? I don't know. I have lots of work to do today that requires things that I don't like to do. Okay. Business stuff like working on, making sure my sales tax is in order because I do sell products. And, the end of the year is coming. So I have to get ready for tax season. All of those things that artists hate, I got to do. So I have to work with doing the stuff I don't like first and leaving the stuff that I love, painting with my new paints and sculpting, et cetera, et cetera. I need to leave that as the carrots because otherwise if I do all that stuff, the other stuff will get neglected and I'll never do it. I'll just keep pushing it away. So knowing that I'm combating with my inner child all the time, I've got to kind of tease my inner child. My inner child says, I don't want to do that. I want to play with my Legos. Well, if I do play with my Legos, I have to also do something that I don't want to do. So this is the kind of thing that I work. And if this is you, don't dish yourself about it. Don't get on yourself about it because you are this person that wants to play most of the time. And the real work is kind of a pain in the neck. Just try to trick yourself into doing it and then reward yourself afterwards for doing it. Okay. So that's it. Let me just say it works for me. Okay. So, I may take an hour to clean part of my office because it's cluttered because I kept avoiding it. And then I can do something nice. So for Christmas for my husband, I have cluttered every room in my house because I had to isolate. I had to quarantine for 14 days because I did a job in November and I flew. So I flew up and back and then 14 days to protect him. And I'm in my office where it's all cluttered and I can't stand it. So I realized that for Christmas, one of the things my husband really likes is tidy spaces. He loves me. But when I'm really busy traveling all over the world like I was in 2019, the house explodes. And he's so patient and tolerant of it. He's just wonderful. So for Christmas, while he slept, because I'm an early riser, I'll wake up about 4 or 5 in the morning. And if I can't get back to sleep, I just get up and get to work. That does mean that 9 or 10, I'm often. But lately, because of the pandemic, I've been going to sleep at 12 or 1 and waking up at 5 or 6. So I have been sleeping very little, which is one of the reasons I'm taking the time right now between Christmas and New Year's to kind of chill a little bit, because I really need to. I really do. I'm just want to go do stuff. So I have to do that. But my point is that what I did is got up early. Christmas Day was still that kind of a day for yours truly. So I got up early and slipped out from under the covers so that my husband could have his Christmas Day sleep. He sleeps in till about like 11 or noon because he works nights. So what I did was I went in and I tidied up the house so that when he got up to open presents, and I didn't tell him I did that. I just said, let's go out into the living room and let's open up presents, in our family room, and let's open gifts. And he's like, you shouldn't have got me anything, but I always want him to have a little something to open. And he said, for me this year, he didn't give me anything to open. He gave me a gift certificate, and then it was to buy these wonderful, wonderful paints. So I'm like, I want to do it. I've been watching videos to get myself ready to jump in the paint, and I'll probably reach out to people like Janny and say, look what I did. How can I improve? With people that are in the tribe, I'll post it and go, I've not painted like this before. What do you guys think? And what, any thoughts, composite, I won't care. I just want to, if you love it, you say you love it. But if there's some things you can improve it, this is what we do. Oh, it's just so fun. Anyway, I cleaned that area. And then when I took him tea, he wakes up, I take tea, he drinks the tea in bed. He has breakfast in bed for Christmas, made it just really supercalifragilisticexpialidocious for him. And then I said, why don't we go out and we'll snuggle under our little blankies and things, and we'll open gifts, which there weren't many. There were mostly for him. And then my candy, thank you, ladies. And then I got a gift from the Food Network. I did the pumpkin show last year, and they sent me a great gift. And so I held that over to open it. And then I opened my paints. I knew that my paints were in there, but I didn't open them until the day. So I got to look at them. And then they sent me, Janny, if you're still listening, they sent me a liter of Mars Black. I guess they were out of the, what is it? These are 80 milliliters, I think. Yeah, 80 milliliter tubes. And then there's a jar, because I remember you telling me it would be good to get gessos. They call it binders in Artelier. And the binder, I think I got the next thing up, which was a jar about yay big that was of Mars Black and Titanium White, because I knew there's some colors that I like a lot. And I just got a jar of them. And then I got some of the binders and gessos and stuff. I guess they were out of Mars Black because there was this milk carton full of black acrylic paint. It was a full liter. And they sent it to me. So I'm going to have to call them and see, were they out of the other one? Because I didn't see the little 980 milliliters I got, or what the 500, whatever that milliliter is, that's a jar instead of the tube. And it's this liter. It was just hilarious. Lindsay goes, that's a lot of black, I mean, it's bawamba, I'll probably use it, but I just laughed because, I had all of these, a couple of cute little jars full of colors that I like, and then mostly tubes. And then that monster, which I think they sent because they were out of the other. And they said, this girl spent some money with us, so let's just give her the liter. It was something like $30 or $40 for this thing. It was hilarious. So yeah. So Theme Park Gals, thank you so much. Kelly, thank you so much. Your son felt, theme park gals say that her son felt that the live action Mulan was rushed. He was correct. It felt like Cliff Notes. You remember Cliff Notes? A black and white book that used to give you the synopsis. That's what it kind of felt like to me too. So I agree with your son. It was not only rushed, it was, yeah. Okay. Was a brilliant film. Not sure which one you're talking about, my friend. Morgan says, have you watched The Mandalorian yet, or the docuseries? I just finished episode 3, season 2 of Mandalorian. I'm getting ready to watch 4. And thank you for telling me to stick with it, because it's moving really slow. It's moving really, really slow. And I won't watch the docuseries until I finished it. But many of you have said it's stick with it. Yes, it's slow. Some have said it's not as good as season 1. It's not as feisty as season 1. I feel that. I feel that. I agree with you. But the payoff is really good. And there's going to be a season 3, I understand. There's also a lot of spin-off series of Star Wars, which is what I've been begging them to do. So thank you, Disney Plus, for taking things like the Clone Wars, looking at some of the things that they did, and possibly creating other worlds around Star Wars. There is no reason we need to stick with Luke and Leia and Han Solo anymore. You've got those movies, many awful, some really good, but you've got that saga is good. Let's follow Mandalorian. Let's follow some of these other characters and see about them and learn about them and spotlight them and make it a kind of a Star Wars universe, much like they did with Star Trek. Even though, full disclosure, I'm not really a big Star Trek fan, other than the Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner original. I just really like the original better, and I have them all on DVDs, and I watch them like a hawk because I just love them. There's so many things I love about that series, and I love the other people like Patrick Stewart and some of these other characters. I like them. I'm just not into them. It's not. I have to monitor my TV, so because I don't watch a lot of TV, so I will watch it and stick with it for a little bit. But if it doesn't grab me, then I'm not, I'm like, no, thank you. So I tried to watch a new Muppet thing that they did, an interview talk show with an alien, and it's just terrible. It's just terrible. I watched the first one and said, a lot of times a pilot is going to be a little bit broken. It's not going to be perfect because you're trying to find your feet as performers, and with script and dialogue and everything. So I went into season 2, like the 3rd episode. Then I went into the 7th, and it still was, just not for me. Nope. Yes, Linda, prop culture is amazing, and I want to watch it over and over again, especially the one with Nightmare Before Christmas. Because the Nightmare Before Christmas, I worked with Henry Selick on Monkey Bone, which, if you haven't seen it, you're going to say, you may like it, you may not. Again, it's a movie where it was supposed to be one thing, and then when we were done filming, the producers got together and they made it a different thing. And they went, in my opinion, the wrong direction. They went with the people and not with the characters of Coma Town. But it happens. And Henry was so sweet to me, Henry Selick. So it was great to see Henry on that show, to see and hear Henry talk about what he did and how he worked on it. Many of those people I met because they follow and work with Henry when he does stop motion. And I would love to see Henry do some more because he's very, very talented at it. And to work with Henry Selick was a dream come true for me. And then he invited me up to his studios in San Francisco to actually observe a lot of stop motion, where I worked with an amazing young man who was just fledging out. He was just he was just blooming, so to speak, named Webster Concord, and he is amazing. And now he's a big deal. Now he's like a rock star animator. So it was great to go and see him at the beginning of his career. He was very generous. He talked to me about the cameras he used, about how he did stop motion. And I sat in the corner like a little mouse for 5 days at the Selick studio and got to do that because I was a voiceover person and a puppeteer on Monkey Bone. where I got to talk to Henry Selick about Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, here's the other thing I got to do. I got to talk with Tim Burton. Tim Burton has signed my book, my Nightmare book. He's signed a couple other things for me because we were at an event together as speakers. So while we were in the waiting room, I introduced myself and told him how much I loved Nightmare. And I wondered if he would sign my book. I regularly was not a fangirl, but that I loved Nightmare so much that I would love it if he would do that for me. He did. And it was just a big deal. Now, if you watched Prop Culture as mentioned by Linda, then you know that also the guy who did the armatures that built the understructures, the little skeletons, said he liked a very wonderful stop motion animator named Ray Harryhausen. Well, this is someone else I got to meet. And if you would like to, the AMA on the 8th of January, simply ask the question by posting in the comments or going to @LeoHulzer Facebook, that you can ask me, or you can ask me when I'm doing the AMA to show those books. In fact, maybe I'll just write down my Ray Harryhausen. I met Ray on several occasions, and he signed. One of the things he loved is I had a first edition of his book, and then he re-released it, and I got that, and he signed both of them. So don't let me make you think that I'm not a fan of certain things. Harryhausen is amazing. I wasn't a super fan of a lot. I'm just looking to see. There's anything else. I think I'm pretty good with the things I was talking to you about, so I don't need to look at my phone again. But I wanted to make sure I made the list in my phone today instead of writing it down. But I'll show you those books. They're really, really lovely. And Harryhausen was impressed that I had the first edition. And so he was happy to sign both books for me, and I was happy to do that. So prop culture is phenomenal to me. It's just... I love watching it, and Nightmare was one of my favorite ones. But Mary Poppins was quite good also, and I enjoyed seeing the choreographer. I loved meeting the choreographers of Step in Time and a lot of the things with Dick Van Dyke. I just loved hearing what they had to say, and you're right. You're right. It's amazing. And 616, yes, Morgan, that my husband got attached to. And like I said, my husband isn't a big Disney person, but he does love Marvel. And he is a super fan of all of those Marvel films. Some he likes, some he kind of doesn't, But I'm someone who with those superhero films. I think they have way too many characters. So there's a couple of those that I really do like, but other times it's just too much for me to watch. That being said, I love Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, and so my dog Rocket is named after that character as well. So yep. Yes, I do too, Kelly. I do too. The behind the scenes shows are lovely. And that's what's nice. Disney is doing it right. Disney is doing it great. And it's wonderful. Jerry says, a great Christmas filled with family, presents, and great food. Congratulations. If your household has pretty good family size, then you could have these events together. And if you did, you had to remember to social distance and protect each other or isolate before you got together, right? So with us, what we did, and let me just hide this for a moment, what we ended up doing was, I've created a little burial here, but I'm going to, good Lord, what did I just do here? It's crazy. Okay, let's go to here. I am so funny. I just crack up at myself sometimes. Okay, so here is what we did Christmas. You'll notice that I'm reclining as I just made breakfast for my husband, and I am speaking with my family. This is my family. Upper left is my sister. She's in Maui. Upper right is my mother. My mother has been in a convalescent hospital for 3 years, and we haven't seen her since last February. This is the first time I got to actually see her and speak to her for close to 10 months. So this was really exciting. My father on the lower left-hand corner, and check out that beard he's rocking, the COVID beard. He's too funny. He was going to shave it off for the call, but then he knew my mom would just like, what the heck? And then me, of course. And this was the Christmas gift I was able to arrange for my family. We had not seen each other. I haven't seen my father in 10 months. No eyes on my father. We talk on the phone. My mother and I have not been able to talk on the phone or see each other for 10 months because she's in a convalescent hospital. They're very busy. They have to take care of a lot of people. So it's kind of you got to keep trying. Well, then I finally got the caregiver, and we worked out a way that on Christmas Eve, I could bring this to my family. And my sister, who lives in Maui, even though you may say to yourself, Maui, wowie, it's an island. It's scary for them right now because their numbers are going up and there's nowhere to go to. And also she feels lonely. She's by herself there. And so she was really happy to be able to see the family. And that was the Christmas gift that I, through the help of so many, got to do. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just really, really grateful that I was able to do it. And it was the gift, and it just took my time. I had to just buckle down and work. My dad doesn't do well with technology. So thank goodness for my cousin, Tim, for making that technology work. And getting my dad on the call, because that was the biggest surprise. My sister thought we would talk to my mom, and that she would then do a regular phone call with my father. Getting my father on, and now there's a way with this new Google Duo that you can create a group, and so when one calls you, if you're available, you can just all pop on, and it's that Hollywood Squares kind of thing. So it's just amazing, and it's just wonderful, and I'm just going to say to you that it's a joy. It was great. It was great. Okay. So I didn't get to have them, to hug them, to touch them, but I don't want to because I need them to stay safe. Tim Gillette is in the house. Hi, Tim. We've got work to do this year. I got a lot of things I'm going to need your help with, Tim. And Tim is my social media guru. He teaches me how to make my content delivered to you in a more efficient way because I'd like to sculpt sometimes. So thank you, Tim Gillette, for all you do, and happy holidays. The theme park girls say the thunder and lightning scared me awake. No, I was awake watching the prop culture and thought that the change in my television was affecting my window when I soon realized it was thunder. And then we turned everything off and watched that show instead. Canterville Ghost, one of my favorite Margaret O'Brien movies. Yes, Bob, that's another really, really good one and a joyful one. Hiya, Wendy. How are you doing? How is your husband? How is everything? I hope he's good and safe. Were you able to tell Sidney Poitier? Yes, absolutely. And the thing that surprises many people of color, let me say it that way, is how light-skinned I am and blonde. Okay, I'm now going gray, but the gray, if I turn the light on, the gray is a little bit, but it oxidizes. So in my hair, if I showed you all of this here if I fluff it out, not this guy. Of course, see that end there that's blonde? That is just a little hair color emphasis, but all the way, that's all my hair. That's all my natural hair color. So what happens is it'll go a little silver like I'm praying for, and then it becomes this, what I call dirty dishwater blonde. It's not gray. It looks like a blonde or a brunette. So what does that mean? It means that God is not ready to let me be a gray-haired lady yet. And I really wanted the silver. I was like, I want the silver. But I was able to tell Sidney Poitier, and he was fascinated at my skin tone. So, I talked about my skin tone. I talk about everything. And my hair at the time was blonde. So he was like, wow, wow. And that doesn't offend me. That doesn't offend me if someone wants to know, how is it possible your skin's so light and your hair is so blonde? It's not like I haven't heard things like, what are you before? So it's just amazing. It's refreshing to hear others love Soul so much. I'm seeing mixed feelings on it, but that's with all films. I loved it so much. I thought it was brilliant. Okay. I thought it was brilliant. I liked those characters, and they're in the previews. They're sort of Calder characters, Calder in the mobiles that Calder did. That I love those characters. I fell in love with those characters. And I said to myself, I got to try and make those characters, because I really liked those characters. They were my favorite. And I also liked the accountant, who must make those numbers match. So yeah. So you guys love it. The characters are great. Steven says, as a musician, I love the music in Soul. Joe's fingers appear to be hitting the right keys on the piano. Simply amazing. And Stephen, you have now illustrated a point of me as an actor and a creator in films and television. As Stephen points out, they took the time in Soul, it appears, according to Stephen, to not just play any keys on the piano, but they thought, this is what we love about Pixar, usually, they thought enough about people like you, Stephen, to do it correctly. Not just, have you guys ever seen The Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant? Have you ever seen the harp scene? If you haven't seen that movie, you can still stream it on Turner Classic Movies if you have the ability to stream and you have that app. Grab Bishop's Wife and look at the scene where he's playing. It's not, you can tell, like, crazy. I mean, it is scary obvious, Stephen, and you may know what I'm talking about, that the hands are not Cary Grant's, that he's sitting like this and the harpist is playing. Oh my gosh, it's really bizarre and weird. It's so weird. So it's nice to see something like this where, as Stephen is saying, they've done it right. And that is, when that detail looks to me, they're trying to hit somebody like me that they know does a lot of films, and we know these secrets. And like Stephen, that makes it another zinger for us. We get extra happy when we see that they've taken the time to think about us. Okay. They've realized that we do this all our lives, and we know the fingerings, we know the placement if we're playing certain instruments and we're doing certain things. And when you hit those zingers, our heart just goes, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Stephen? It does. Thank you for saying that. I love you for saying that. Hi, Jim Van Ostenbridge. Looks like I'm having some difficulty with StreamYard today. I also thought Soul was amazing. Some time ago, a friend at Pixar was asking about how we might characterize awe. I think that comes through in the film really well. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you got Disney Plus. Please run, do not walk, and watch that movie and really watch it. And if the first time you go through it, you're not quite sure how you feel about it, I urge you to watch it again, because it really is so special and so beautiful. And I love the characterizations. I love the drawings. I loved, there's just so much. I could just go on and on about some of the characters there that I love. So thank you, Jim, for saying that. Can you point out things that really grabbed you about Soul? Was the name 22 because she seemed to be caught in the proverbial catch-22? I think so. By choice, 22. She, and I think it's easy. Oh, we're really raining now. We're really raining. We are raining now. I'm out in my studio, so I'll have to cross that rain if I finish. So I'm going to talk a little bit more. I understand if you've got to go. Okay, please don't worry. Just you got life. I get it. Okay. But yeah, she's just indifferent because she doesn't know any better. She's happy with her life. Why should she change it? Right. And it's just a beautiful, so many beautiful surprises in it. And I'm going to let it get a bit farther, Michael, or we can see how many people on our Zoom call this Wednesday have actually seen Soul, and maybe we can talk about it then more specifically. But there is a multitude of things I liked. For one thing, the Soul, there's a lot of characters in Soul that remind me of my dad's side of the family, the Black side of the family. And it was just a joy to see, to just get these little heart palpitations on people that I love and care about that I've lost on that side of the family that look like I said, that key jazz player. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. When she gives that look, I mean, I had an aunt who's passed now that look is there. It's amazing. This is amazing. So there's some personal things in there, I will tell you, Michael, that just knocked me for a loop, and I absolutely loved it. Lydia says, season 2, and I think you're talking about The Mandalorian, much better in the second half of it. So basically what Linda is saying is to just get through it, girlfriend. Hang in there. It's going to have a good payoff, and I will. There's no way I'm not going to. My husband says, are you really going to watch the rest? He was not happy with how slow it was moving. But of course I'm going to watch the rest. Of course I'm going to watch the rest. There's no way. I'm a Star Warsite, and I love Favreau. Okay? I love this man. I love this man. And I will see Favreau stuff, good and bad, because we all have good and bad, don't we? So we just are going to support our friends. And he's a good friend. He's doing Star Wars the way I like it. So that's great. Thank you, Dave Filoni. Yes, indeed. Puppetry and Monkey Void was very imaginative. Stephen, you're so nice. There was some great stuff about that, and I wish they would have kept it on the Comatown side as opposed to the human side, because the human side just wasn't funny. But the Comatown side was just really great. When the original script is nothing like when the movie Cut Loose finally hit the theaters, and when we went to the screening. There's nothing like Henry Selick stepping up to the podium. So if you've ever been to a screening where you've done a movie or you've created something, let's say it's an event that you're part of, and you're invited to come together and see your work. So insert your situation here, and the person at the podium says, "Thank you for all of your efforts and your supports, and we want to say that we're going to show you the results, and the results are amazing. I think you'll be quite proud of what we did, blah, blah, blah." Well, Henry Selick at this gathering of all the people who had worked on Monkey Bone walked up to the podium and said, "I'm sorry," and got off. And then we watched it. Because it was so different from what we had done and what we had created. And all of a sudden, someone got a hold of it. And this can happen, guys. This absolutely can happen in a situation that you are involved in. It can happen. Tuning in very late. I love the jacket. Thank you, Janice. You have the same one, do you? She bought it for you long ago. Are you wearing it today, Janice? Are you in a place where you can be nice and warm because of it? I pulled it out because I rarely get. And when I first pull it out, I thought it was my dinosaurs jacket. I have got the best dinosaurs rampaging trilobite jacket you have ever seen. Robbie Sinclair wore it in Dinosaurs, and they made us each one. And I will, when it stays cold, we will, I'll wear that for you and show you what that one looks like. But congratulations, Janet. It is a rock star jacket, isn't it? Hi, Adam. Angie, seeing the pic of your family together. Me too. So my goal is to do a better YouTube. I mentioned that, to show you all the content that I have been collecting over the years to share with you some of the books and why I love and have them, to share you some of the people that you may or may not be aware of because maybe you're in a Disney realm or you're in a, whatever. I have this amazing man named Glenn Campbell. No, not the singer. Glenn and I worked on several films together, and he's in effects. He may be retired now, but on my Facebook Messenger, he's always sending me cute, funny little things that have to do with what he loves, mostly science fiction. He's very talented. But Galaxy Quest recently had an anniversary, and Galaxy Quest is a brilliant film. And he just did a whole behind the scenes FYI on it. And I think he may have got it from someone else, or maybe he knew it, whatever. But he decided to celebrate it because it's one of his favorite films. And he celebrated by saying things like, originally Sigourney Weaver was supposed to say, "What the swear word here?" And instead she says something different. And it's because they wanted to take it from a PG-13 rating down to PG, or to even, I don't think it wasn't G, but they wanted it so everyone could enjoy it. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes things on that movie that he shared with me, and it was joyful to get that. That was my little after Christmas gift from my friend Glenn. And it's wonderful to get stuff like that because I don't know everything. And so it's nice to see that. So thank you for saying that, Angie. You are family for sure. So the theme park gals say, been through very tough times in the past. So blessed to have had a wonderful Christmas with our bubble of a family. Exactly. Okay, exactly. My dear friend Michelle, she's got COVID again. And so we are praying like gangbusters that she's safe and gets through it. Again, guys, again, keyword, again. So we're just sending her our love and hugs and prayers that she is well and safe. Hope it rains all day, so I have to keep talking. Yes, don't want something sweet getting wet. No, yeah, melting. No, I'm one of these people that if I go out into the rain, it's going to take an hour for me to get inside because I'm going to be like, yay, like a turkey. Because it's so exciting. In fact, sitting here, it's light right now as I look around, just trying to see the windows. And I'm listening to the sound of it hitting the roof here. I can actually hear it, this low rumble. And I love hearing it. It can kind of make you kind of sleepy and comfy. And I think what I'm going to do, Santa gave me a wonderful gift, and that is my husband is off work until our anniversary. We have a wedding anniversary, January 4th. And last night we were looking at each other because I was telling somebody it was our 16th wedding anniversary. And then I said, is it our 16th? To my husband. Because the honeymoon has been wonderful. We are just, we are the two people that were meant to come together. We have true love. We have true love. And I'm so excited. So he never gets Christmas. The catch 22 is you can't appreciate life until you live life. That is true, Kelly. Absolutely. 100%. You got to live life. And I love life and I am all about it. In fact, there's never enough time for me to get all my living in because I love it so much, Yet there I am doing my thing, thunder and lightning, boop, and I'm watching it like a fun. Ooh. And then we talk about what we saw, most of the thunder and lightning happened above my house. So all I got to see was the flashes. But before it ended, a big lightning cracked and opened up the sky right in front of my eyes. Wow. And then everything went. And I was like, whoa. But if you can find joy in little things like that, and that's what soul kind of shows you, is the joy of not only the big things, but the little things, so that's what I'm here for. So, guys, it's 11:27, and I'm going to sign off now because it's still the holidays. I urge you all to take time for yourself. If you have something you've been wanting to do, but life is getting in the way of you doing that, for example, and you can do it safely, like I should show you the Lego I got for Christmas. Somebody sent me, and it's wonderful. It's the Beatles, um, the portrait. I've never done a portrait like this before, so I'm so excited to do it, but not yet. But if you have something like that you want to do, or you want to bake, you want to do something that's extraordinary or not in your normal thing, I encourage you to do it. You're going to be feeling better, especially if you're feeling kind of down. That joy is going to well up inside you, make you who you are, and then you can move forward and do some of the stuff that you have to do, some of the stuff that's kind of icky, right? So I love you guys. Hugs and kisses, lots of hugs and kisses. And I will talk to you soon. And Terry's Tribe, if you decide you want to sign up before Wednesday so you can come on the Zoom call. Okay. We'd love to see you and celebrate you. It's just going to be a casual talk. We bring something fun to eat and just chat. Okay. That's this. Every other week we usually do what's called a spotlight, but I've kind of let these first weeks in January, because I have an anniversary and things like that, we're going to go easy into January on Patreon as well. And so once I kind of settle, we'll get those spotlights going again. So we've got a spotlight scheduled with dear Deanna, Dr. D, which is going to be great, but it's not right out of the gate. She wanted to have some time to kind of, chill as well. So we'll be doing that. But my point is, if you sign up now, I will be emailing you the Zoom and you can jump right in and be a part of Zoom. And we'd love to have you. So if you sign up before Wednesday, do it. If you don't worry. Plenty of time for you to think about it and see if it's for you. And I hope you'll join us. Okay. I love you a bunch. Thank you for doing something nice for others, including me. Thank you for being here with your positive spirit, your good wishes, your attention, your love, your kindness, etc., etc., etc. And before I go, what was a Christmas movie you saw that you liked that you hadn't seen before? For me, Netflix has a great one, if you haven't seen it, called Klaus. Klaus. I watched it 2 times in a row. I loved it so much. I was blown away because I had never heard about this animation studio. To me, it's a brand new animation studio to me, and it is magnificent. So Netflix, Klaus, if you've got it, please don't miss it. It's beautiful. My mother-in-law is the one who turned me onto it, and I've watched it twice, and I will probably go watch it again because I just loved it. That and Soul and more Disney Plus. I'm going to go in, and if my husband is still sleeping, I'll surprise him with breakfast. But I want to thank you guys for today. My governor is going to be speaking in a half an hour, so I want to prepare to hear what he has to say. Is there anything more we can do to fight this COVID-19? So I love you guys. Stay safe. Hugs and kisses, and I will see you next Monday. Next Monday is my anniversary, January 4th. And I will be seeing you because my husband has to work that day. So we're going to celebrate it probably on the 3rd. Okay. Hugs and kisses to all of you. You're amazing. Please don't give up. Please stay positive. And if for any reason you're feeling down, reach out to me and I'll do my best to perk you up. Okay. I love you guys. Take care. We'll see you soon. We'll see you super soon. Build something fun. Rest. Do something for you. Okay.